All right, Chairman, if you want to call the meeting to order.
I'll call the meeting to order. Thanks, everybody, for coming aboard.
All right. Begin with the Open Public Meetings Act statement on February 9th, 2024. Notice of this meeting was placed on the official Bellmawr Redevelopment Agency website and emailed to both the Carrier Post and Gloucester City News newspapers for publication. The official notice to the Borough Clerk was emailed on February 9th, 2024, which included requests for posting of the notice to the official Borough Bellmawr website and bulletin board. All requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act have been met in compliance with the Sunshine Law. Brings us to the flag salute. I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United States
United
of
States
America,
of America, and to the
and to the
republic
republic
for
for
which
which stands one nation,
One
under
nation,
God,
under God, indivisible,
with
liberty and
liberty and
justice
justice
for
for
all.
all.
All right. Bring us to a roll call. Chairman Frank Philippek,
Present.
Vice Chair Bider, we know he is absent. Commissioner D'Angelo,
Here.
Commissioner Whitman,
Here.
Commissioner Patel,
Here.
Commissioner Simpson,
Here.
Commissioner Beck. Josh Trier, Executive Director, I am here. Mike McKenna, Agency
Present.
Solicitor.
Present.
All right, and Dennis McNulty, Agency Engineer. He is not on. I think this is him coming in now. Just give me 1 second. Dennis, we're doing roll call and it came to you. So if you can acknowledge your presence, please do so.
Yeah, sorry. Present.
I got you. All right, standard agenda for this evening. We'll begin with the reading of the minutes from the previous meeting, regular meeting, November 12th, 2024.
I make our motion, we accept the minutes.
I second it.
All in favor, signify by saying
Aye.
Aye.
aye. Any nays? Ayes have it. Communications, we received the redevelopers report for December. Received that yesterday, so thank you, Don. Brings us to commission reports, if anybody has anything. All right. Executive Director's report, professional service contract RFP. We approved the resolution last month. We've got that published and posted to the agency website, and the various vendors can do submittals up until January 9th, I believe. And that, all will be in preparation for the to be determined date for the reorg meeting in January 2025. Also just working on some year-end closeout and along with the reorg planning. So it includes the financials, getting the 1099s ready for the vendors once the year closes out. We'll need to coordinate any necessary reappointments with the borough. I'll do that this week, but I believe it'll just be the two councilmen that will need a require a 1-year appointment. Again, that's per state guidelines. And then overall planning and prep for the reorg meeting, which, we'll look at a date. Typically we'll look at the 3rd or 4th Tuesday of the month. I'll talk to the borough and Franny to make sure there's no conflicts, and I'll get some information everybody out. I'll get information out to everybody as soon as possible.
Did you say the Wednesday or Tuesday, Josh?
It's going to be a Tuesday, typically.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Tuesdays have been, unless somebody has issues with Tuesdays, I think it's been a better day than Monday.
I misheard you. That's all.
Okay. All right, and then the financials. So, still working on finalizing the audit with the auditors at Bowman, and we'll have that ready for reorg. And then with the budget, same thing. Completing that state workbook, get that done by the end of this year, have that submitted, and then we'll look to intro the budget same time at the reorg meeting in 2025. Any questions for me before I turn it over to Mike? All right. Mike?
All right, thank you. Good evening, guys. And we have the redevelopers report. We got it today. But what I know is that there are just really a couple of principal new highlights or developments. And most of the action has shifted to Deptford on the basis that we're sort of light years ahead of them in the process, as we should be. And they're using our activities and progress and efforts as a template for their action. So, for instance, they brought the approval into what they call a development review committee. The redeveloper appeared before them last Thursday, asked me to show just in case there were any questions about historical, and there were none, but I did witness it. And they essentially took the plan of the entire tract that we reviewed with all of the buildings, but we couldn't approve the middle that was Deptford's. And so we anticipate that Deptford will approve it precisely as we did and spend a lot of time getting there, just as we did with the subdivision. The DRC suggested to me that all of those are on board and are going to approve it that way. And that'll get set up now for a board hearing, and that'll happen once. Likewise, the pilot has been submitted. I've been not asked to help with that. That is strictly councilmatic. And Howard's playing point on that. The redeveloper has submitted our pilot to Deptford, and it's identical. So that work likewise has some rub off for the benefit of Deptford. What remains also is for Deptford and Bellmawr to get together on how much of that which we have gotten into their coffers comes back to us for servicing the tract. Howard's working on that. I provide some small assistance based on the transmittal sort of second review of a fiscal impact report Josh did back in the day. I want to say 5 years ago, maybe, right, Josh?
I believe it was 2018, actually.
Yeah, it's highly dated and things have changed, but there were some points in there that I thought Howard could use. So I went over it and called it out. He looks like he's getting ready to make a presentation to them because that was our discussion. And lastly, I saw with interest that the DEP has approved the Green Acres. I hadn't heard that previously, so that was in the report. So they're making progress. They are out fighting on another front right now, that being the redeveloper. We've done our work until such time as the council has to make the deal with the borough, the township of Deptford, with respect to interlocal services and allocating the monies that'll be coming in. That's all I have, guys.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Any questions for Mike before we go to new business?
Yeah, Mike, I have a question. Has Howard spoken to you about the meeting that the borough had with the commissioner for Department of Transportation recently?
He did.
Okay.
Was that what we're calling it, a meeting?
Yeah, well, I guess we called it, right? So in this meeting, I mean, I would hope that Howard relayed this information that the state apparently has no interest in reimbursing for the road.
And I will tell you that I always looked at that as a pipe dream. It's not a factor in our deal. We said we'd cooperate if they could get it.
Right.
So, yeah, I never saw them getting it. The state will find another home for that money. It's that simple.
All right. So, okay. So knowing that, where does that leave us with the road? What's the situation now?
Well,
has anything changed?
No, nothing changes. Under the redevelopment agreement, they're going to bond 120% of the cost.
Okay.
So, now the rubber has hit the road, literally.
All right. So the developer now is required to build this road?
Well, when the bond is posted, yeah. I mean, I don't think we are going to let the state dissipate the funds, lightning fast. Okay. They're just simply, they're not getting rid of the money, but they are not going to reimburse. That makes no sense. You got to volunteer to do it through pressure and negotiations and circumstance. They're not going to kick it in. And we just got off the hook with, interminable delays, Jim. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
No, listen, I'm just wondering if this is going to delay this any longer. Like, is this going to drag it out even longer?
no, this is the precise delay that the developer stepping up is going to prevent.
Okay. Okay.
We knew that. We knew the state was, whenever they got around to, they were coming around the mountain. The redeveloper can't afford to sit and wait, so they're taking it on. I don't think they were happy with the choice, but it was either that or just wait on the state, and that was an untenable choice.
All right. Okay.
They're predicting
All right,
that
thanks.
the road will be done in 2025.
Yeah, they're at breakneck speed with getting this thing done. So they must be they're fishes for real. They want to get them in the boat.
Okay.
And the
All right,
county's
thanks.
involved now too.
Mike, I mean, just from that meeting, did the commissioner of the DOT have just does not care that the agency made an agreement with the borough a few years ago?
Well, I wasn't there at that meeting.
I mean, we have documentation. I mean,
No, they're not the DOT. Yeah, well, wait a minute. You were there when the then committee.
I was there.
That was a promise. We can change our mind.
There's a letter.
I wanted to go through the Zoom conference. I don't know. A deal's a deal in my world, but not so much so with NJDOT. So I'll take 120% bond over the DOT's word every day of the week.
No, I get that.
The only thing I want to see, I see your point, Josh, but let me tell you something. It's a new commissioner, and it's only word where they're not coming up to money now. That doesn't mean that they're not. They might get their money in a couple of years or whatever, but they want the county to put it up for bid and the county to take charge. And I think everything's moving. And I think they'll have the road done in 2025. And that's great because the traffic is getting worse and worse. And then it got nothing to do with the redevelopment. The traffic is terrible.
All right. Any other questions before we go into new business? All right. Brings us to new business, resolution of Bellmawr Redevelopment Agency, resolution number 12:032-24, authorizing payment of outstanding bills.
I make a motion.
Second it.
All right. Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Commissioner Patel. This will be a roll call. Chairman Philippek,
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo,
Yes.
Commissioner Whitman,
Yes.
Commissioner Patel,
Yes.
Commissioner Simpson.
Yes.
All right, that concludes all of the business I have for this evening. Brings us to the public portion, which nobody's on, but again, 3 seconds I think is enough to verify. All right. And that'll bring us to an adjournment.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting, Josh.
All right, thank you.
I second it.
Was that you, Tom?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any
Aye.
nays?
I want to wish everybody happy holiday. Be safe and healthy.
Same to you,
Same to
Mayor.
you, Mayor.
I want to echo that to everybody, your families, your loved ones. Have a great holidays, everybody.
Be safe.
too.
You guys too.
Thanks, everybody. Same
Yeah.
thing. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and I'll be reaching out with a date in January.
Okay, guys.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks,
Good
Joe.
night, guys.